This is Stock Talk, August 1st, 2018, and welcome back. Now, to say that volatility isn't back, it is certainly here, and we are seeing some very interesting patterns. I'm going to first take you guys to the intraday pattern of the SPY or Spider, which tracks the S&P 500, looking at general market movement. Wow, look at this, sloshiness up and down today. We saw this a little bit yesterday. We saw it even more in a dramatic fashion today as the meeting minutes came out. People digested the news. We had the move up, but then we sold off at the last few minutes, and we eventually even sold off back to retest this support. Now, here's what I'm going to do right now. So given previous trends, you guys can see the boxed area, and the boxed area represented the more near-term support. And based off of today's movement, I'm going to readjust this and actually going to put in a line here showing that the support area is around 280.50. So this is just to compensate for intraday movement, and just want to show this in a better fashion. So there we go. That's the support area. And you guys can see this is great for day trading, right? You guys can see that, we hit the peak, resistance, support, and there we go. So if you wanted to trade this, you certainly could have as a day trader. Now, we need to look at the big picture because this picture isn't giving us a clear direction as where the markets could be moving. It could be moving up, down, or sideways, and it's actually kind of hard to visualize on the one-day chart. But look at what's going on right now. Yes, we have earnings, and I feel like the earnings, Apple, look at guys, Pacey, right? One of the stocks to watch at our May video went up 18.5% today. Those stocks are cushioning the market, in my opinion, from dropping. And I think there's certainly potential for the markets to drop, but because we have earnings leveraging that fact, that is possibly why that we're staying still afloat in this area. Now, here's what's happening right now. You guys see this downward trend, and then now we're moving higher. Sure, from this candle, we're moving higher. Yesterday, we closed below the high of the previous candle. That's important, right? But today, we opened actually higher, and then we closed lower into yesterday's candle. What does that mean? It just means in the more near term, it is a little more bearish. We have to give that a more bearish tone given today's movement. And you guys can see that there could be, I'm not saying that there would, but there could be a bear flag pattern that may play out to the downside. Note that the next support area is around 279.11 if the near-term support of 280.54 or 280.50 does not hold. So look for those numbers. However, a daily close, in my opinion, above around 280.70, 281.70 would be bullish for the markets, and in my opinion would take the downside, at least temporarily, away. So I'm looking at those specific numbers right now. It doesn't look too good for the markets, and this is I'm just giving an edge, a slight edge to the bearish tone of the market currently. All right, let's take a look at volatility, TVIX. So here's volatility. We see that it dipped. You guys can see this is another trend that you guys could have played, as this was a pretty well-defined, you guys can see this is a pretty well-defined resistance area, and then the support area, well, that was kind of hard to define. But if you guys could reference this while the markets were moving up and down, you might have gotten yourself into a good trade with volatility. So here is volatility. Something interesting we're seeing again on the 180-day chart is we see the 20 EMA. You guys can see that we broke above, and what happened? We tested the 20 EMA, got rejected, tested the 20 EMA, got rejected, and here we are. What does that actually say? That actually puts a more bullish tone for the markets. And guys, I know I just said that SPY looked a little more bearish. the volatility looks, SPY looks a little more bearish, and volatility looks a little more bearish. How can both of them look bearish? One of them is going to take track in the next few days, and we'll find out which one would eventually come out as the winner. But I just want to present all of the information for you guys so that you guys can see how uncertain the market is. And indeed, the market was incredibly uncertain. I'll take you guys to the IWM. So here's IWM, or the Russell 2000. Just going to show you this fact that today we formed a tail candle. What kind of sign does this show? Well, this shows actually a pretty bullish sign, or possibly a bullish reversal to the upside. But again, you know, we are still under the 20 EMA, so we're looking for that close on SPY above that level that we talked about. Or if we do have that bear flag, then that could play out potentially to the downside. Again, this is just like a wait and see scenario and see what happens tomorrow. So far, yeah, this is a really interesting market right now. Now, before I go any further, feel free to hit that like button if you do like this video, and please subscribe to this channel. You guys, subscribing is completely free. You guys get free information pretty much almost every day while, you know, after the markets finish trading. So hit that like button if you find these videos beneficial, and keep those comments coming on the video comment section below. Let's take a look at the 4/CL, or crude oil futures. Crude oil futures doing pretty much exactly kind of what I expected crude oil to do. And you guys can see that crude oil on the 1-year chart went down another leg today. However, we did get a pushback slightly, and this slightly kind of looks like possibly it's trying to recover back to the 20 EMA before another possible move down towards the SMA, or the moving average line of 66.39. That would be where I would find support, in my opinion. It has acted as support in the past. I wouldn't be surprised if we drop there. Could it go down tomorrow? It certainly can, but I did cover a portion of my position because you guys can imagine this was a pretty decent drop for crude oil, and that, you know, a small recovery to the 20 EMA is not too unlikely at this point. So I was short crude oil. I did cover it just a little bit today. And looking at intraday crude oil, you guys can see this, you know, we had inventory reports coming out. Look at this massive decline, and then we had even lower low until we actually, you know, came back up to the previous resistance area. So this was actually quite interesting. Crude oil, another one that you guys could have played. So if you guys are looking to short crude oil, I'm not saying that you should right now at this point. That would be the ticker DW2, the one that you would be looking at. And you guys can see that it's pretty much been an uptrend 2 days. And this was a pretty big jump for inverse crude oil. This was a 8.5% increase. So just keep that one in mind. 4/NG, remember, 4/NG, we talked about this trend yesterday. Recall in maybe even Monday's video, we talked about how natural gas was bullish. But remember yesterday, what was our tone of natural gas? When the markets shift the tone, we can't still be bullish if they're telling us different signal. In this case, they told us a pretty clear signal. You guys can see the reversal signal right here. And then all of a sudden, now we're declining, and rather declining pretty quickly. What does that say for natural gas? Natural gas is all of a sudden looking extremely bearish until a support of around 2.713. Does it have to go to that area? No, it doesn't. However, it could. It certainly could, as it could be attracted to the bottom area as it continues dropping. So the ticker to watch, in my opinion, the one if you guys did participate in this rejection area, had to be DGAZ, or you guys can see here's DGAZ, and now all of a sudden we formed reversal, and now we're coming back up. That has to be the one that you guys are eyeballing now. It cannot be UGAZ anymore, and therefore it is currently on an uptrend, and this chart looks perfectly normal in terms of the more near-term trends. So DGAZ. Last one is gold futures 4/GC. Gold futures, really, again, I mean, we talked about this trend where gold is going horizontally sideways. Today we saw another down move. No surprise there, right? What is it doing? It is getting ready to possibly hit near this area. It already hit the 20 EMA, or the light blue line, and there could be that rejection back down. There could be, right? And right now, there's no definitive sign of a reversal for gold. and therefore we can't look into tickers like JNUG. Look at JNUG. It dropped 1.86% today. Why take a position and take that risk? No point. And therefore, man, this one looks ready to drop, but I'm not saying that it will drop, but it could certainly consolidate sideways for a couple more days. Whatever it wants to do doesn't matter to me. It's just going to do what it wants to do until I see a reversal. Not participating in this ticker. Evan, so let's get to your tickers right now. SOXL. Oh, before we do that, let's just quickly glance at PAYC. Here was earnings, right? I don't like to play earnings, but PAYC, look at this, guys. My goodness, this was an 18.5%. Anyways, this was the ticker to watch for the month of May, so you guys can see how it played out. Okay, and you know, if you guys are in PAYC, congratulations. And we talked about this pattern, right, on our May ticker content video. We said that it was forming a bull flag formation. We've had this long up streak, and all of a sudden, this was our catalyst to break above the bull flag formation. Okay, so that's just one for you guys to watch. In the meantime, another one that you guys might be a little concerned is MU, and MU is one that is becoming a little more dangerous, and this is one you got to be cautious about. You guys can see that we're back at the support area. There's really no sign of a reversal right now, and therefore, you know, you have to, in my opinion, have a stop loss ready at the very least around the perhaps right now, perhaps the 51.34. You know, you have to minimize that risk if it does continue to drop. I'm looking at market conditions. I see some stocks that are stronger. For example, you guys can see some, you know, Apple earnings. We got some Square, which seemed strong today. Amazon continues, you know, even though it kind of came down the past few days, it would recover today. But MU wasn't able to recover. And that, in my head, is a little bit of a warning sign. So just want to feed that information to you guys in the meantime. So MU. Evan, SOXL. So SOXL, we talked about the area, or the best area to buy would be in this box. Did we fall into this box? We didn't. But one thing we could say is right now, this could be the formation of a bear flag formation, right? Here was the leg up, here's the leg up, and then it could be forming that leg down where it would be the buy area. This doesn't look appetizing to me. This one certainly could do a V back up. Remember, it could always do that a V up, but you know, in this case, it's just not, I'm not, you know, given that market is uncertain, we see some trends are pointing higher, some trends are pointing lower. This is bullish semiconductors, so this one has the potential to drop. And as the resistance is pretty much where we're at, 161.57. Note that we've already gotten rejected at that resistance a couple of times. JWM, RTRX. RTRX is one that, you know, looks pretty good. I think this one has always been such a predictable pattern under pretty low volume considerably versus other stocks. But yeah, if you guys wanted to take a position down here, this is the best position. Look at that, you know, there's a potential for it to trend back up. At the very least, again, you know where your stop loss is if you're wrong. A very good pattern, higher high plus higher low. Good stuff. Gorgeous, right? JWM. All right, Vicky, can you please review Square? So I'll take a look at Square really quick. So you guys can see how Square dipped from its all-time high. Let me just show you guys. See you guys the all-time high, 73.19. It dipped from its all-time high, and the one thing that's really a little concerning to me is that it did dip below, caught it at the 50-period moving average, but right now we closed right at the 20 EMA. And I think this area would have been a good time to kind of take that position. If you wanted to take it, note that it's acted as a support in the past. You guys can see the 50-period moving average. Doesn't mean that it had to act as support. But the one thing is we closed right at the 20 EMA. So we didn't really pop over the 20 EMA. That's the concerning point. So this could be a rejection if the markets come down. This could go over the 20 EMA and we need that reconfirmation of the 20 EMA. And then I would possibly go into Square. But right now, given market conditions and its uncertainty, I would just wait off on Square right now. All right, BA. Okay, so BA is Boeing. Moviegoer, thank you for your comment. Okay, so Boeing, you can see that this is another nice pattern that's developing. Unfortunately, right now we are near the peak, and you guys can see that we are starting to sell off on the 1-year chart. On the 180-day chart, you guys can see that we are actually making what? A kind of a reversal back down. This trend looks like a reversal back down. Can it start spiking higher? It can. Like I said, of course it can, but it's just that your best time to buy has to be this ascending support line around 336. Right now, there's a potential for it to go down, and therefore, you know, not one that I would be visiting right now. I think just keep an eye on it. CGC, Chris, CGC, this is, again, not a very good trend. This is one where it could play out to the downside again. Note this, you guys can see this stepwise fashion in which we get rejections. I can almost argue that this is about to fall. So, yeah, I would not go into this one, as this one has the potential to fall significantly more. Okay, Jason, great video. Thank you. Dozy, as always, I appreciate all of your feedback and input and your, yeah, keep that coming. Oh, Yarvin, yeah, McCombs. I'm getting pumped, guys, from all that motivation. Thank you. All right, here's PayPal. PayPal right now. Okay, PayPal's been dropping, and then we put in, oh, this candle. I don't, you guys, you know, I don't really like this candle. This doesn't seem, so temporarily, you guys can see that we did make a candle similar, but what the problem is, we made a tail candle. It's all right, but we're still under the 20 EMA. Here's the 20 EMA line. We are not able to pop up yet, and therefore I want to wait on this. Look at previous trends. What happened when we caught it? You guys can see that we went up, reconfirmed, up. Right now, got a little trouble right now for PayPal. A little bit of trouble. Let's wait on this one. Yeah. K9, SYF, Synchrony Financial. This one is in trouble, guys. Synchrony Financial is in trouble. This one is dipping pretty much to its 1-year support at 28.88. Let's take a look at the 3-year chart. Okay, guys, what is the problem with this chart? It broke a support, a 3-year support, ascending support. This one right now is in trouble. But remember, the week closes on Friday. This candle hasn't fully formed, so it could, you know, it could edge up above the support line and close, in which it would look a little better. But right now, it is down, and you guys know what goes down can do what? Can go down further. Okay, so all right, Rico, yeah, IQ, that was an interesting downgrade today, huh? Wink. Okay, anyways, Addy Boy, NVDA. So NVIDIA on the weekly chart. So NVIDIA looks okay. There's really nothing wrong with this chart. It's been going up. The only thing that's, you guys can see that we're starting to consolidate at the 20 EMA line. That's certainly a positive sign, I think, for NVIDIA. And for one, if you wanted to take a trade, you know your stop loss. This one is one that you can identify stop loss on should you want to get out. But this is a good trend if it does make that another push up higher over the 269 area. And given our current price point, it's a reasonable price point, I think, if you're looking for an entry. But not to say that you should, but this looks good. Good job on identifying NVIDIA. And with that, guys, that's it for this video. That is it for this video. Can I show you, let me see, let me take a look at some of these trends one more time on SPY on the 1-year chart. Yeah. So guys, overall, I think, the markets is in an uncertain period, and you guys can see it just from the fluctuations in terms of volatility. Okay. And you guys can also see, you know, another thing that's kind of supporting the fact is that, you know, the MACD also is showing a sell signal today. That's a little concerning again, but we have different indicators in different market areas showing us different patterns. And when the market is uncertain, then certainly something is awry, and something, you know, will come up on top, whether the bullish nature of the markets or the bearish nature. In this case, I think we just have to put it off until tomorrow and wait for that day to occur. It's going to be very interesting these few days. I'm really interested to see what happens in the markets, and therefore keep an eye out on the futures as well. In the meantime, thank you everyone for watching this Wednesday edition of Stock Talk, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for yet another one. We'll do this all over again. So see you tomorrow.